We are not sus. We are getting 127 encounter. I just like reset when I realized I was on 127. I didn't do anything. Um, Shut up. I did like get Metagross out and then like go down to have a look at this thing, and then I was like, oh shit, I'm on the 127. I was like, oh, I better just close the game. I did not get an encounter. Um, but I'll delay a little bit. I can talk about like why I think my line's fine and what I'm doing with how. Um, um, so basically, turn one, like Metagross learns Trick. Ironhead's a tutor move, so I can just and Trick's a tutor move, so I can just get Ironhead back. So I'm going to trick Flame Orb onto Luxray, and then all the time that Luxray is like, I mean, Metagross then takes the Iron Ball, which is good, and then Luxray's burned from turn one, so it just like doesn't see kills, and it will just like most time click How. But then there are a couple of turns here where it either sees the fast to it KO, like I'm going to pivot at some point like between Metagross and Vileplume, and it will then see fast to it KO on Vileplume, and I go back to Metagross on. So it's either I go back to Metagross on How, and it boosts nothing, or I go back to Metagross, or I only boost itself and it's not relevant, or I go back to Metagross on Psychic Fangs, which would do like 6%. And then like the next turn, it's like Metagross technically has fast to it KO. The other slot also has fast to it KO, so it shouldn't set up, but like shouldn't click How. Oh my god, my game's not even on. Why is my game not even showing? That would help, wouldn't it? Is my stream showing? It's showing. Okay. Um, yeah, so we'll see when we get there. I haven't done the psychic terrain fight. The first fight's hard at the moment. I did the second fight. I think I pretty much finished the third fight, or at least I've taken out the side, one side on the third fight. But it shouldn't matter if it clicks Howl or not, but it will test like all the different conditions of setup there, so we'll figure it out. Yeah, I couldn't see it on my phone for a second. Okay, I will go and get the encounter. I literally opened it just for yeah, because I was down, I was like, oh, I was gonna do a wild encounter to check Flame Orb quick, and then oh, I can go down here. I just can't go further than this. So I didn't realize they would like. I've assumed it was like a dive block. So I assumed it was like dive block like while it was still not 127. I don't know. Um, so I guess I'm fishing. I don't even know what's good here, so it's not like I can say, oh, if I get so and so, then it's gonna look really sus. Like I don't know what's good. So okay, cool. If this is like the Mickiest magic, that's just the most common encounter. Okay. I mean, it's a normal magic carp, yeah, right? That's not sus. That's probably very good. Plus defense Gyarados is definitely not bad. Yeah, well, I can Aqua Tail on this. Hurricane Gyarados? Hyper Beam Gyarados? Wow, your leveled up moveset is arse. Okay. Oh, we got another Mon. I've kept Typhlosion at 55 because I can't decide whether I'm going to try and be a focus energy gamer with Razor Claw and guaranteed crits, even though I don't get Draco until like past Slannery, or if I'm going to be a Belch gamer. But yeah, I've got both in the calc. I assume I'm just going to level it up, and I don't think I actually will get many options click Belch. I feel like I feel like it's fake coverage. You posted about how there is quite a lot written about it. Oh, you posted about AI, how AI. Oh, okay. There's no how AI. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's weird that it skips like the kill thing and like the hit. Like that's what I think is weird about it. Like, but so yeah, I mean, it looks like it's going to be clicking. It looks like it's going to be clicking like attacks and stuff when I think it is, but it's fine. Um, Let me get this Gyarados. I don't want to put my whole box in because I've edited sets at the clock. Yeah, no, but like it does skip stuff. If it can't target that slot, it skips the checks of like how it attacks into it. Like it doesn't care if it kills the slot it can't target. It doesn't care if it fast to it KOs after setting up. It only cares about. Apparently it only cares about whether that mon would prevent it by attacking them. So it does skip parts of the checks. Or like it's saying that because it's choosing not to target that, it can't kill it or it can't fast to it KO. Which I think is weird. I still think that's counterintuitive because the damage is still there on the board. But that seems to be that's how it's happened. That's what's been happening. That's what people are saying. It's like that's what's all over deck cord. That's what the conversation was yesterday in EI chat. But that's what like they say on deck cord. Like because that if you literally search how in the Lucid channel in deck cord, it like you'll see that it's just like people being like, oh, why did this click how? It sees kill into this slot. I prevent setup with this one. Like the fight that I had on stream with like when you was there with like against the Arcanine in Jagged Pass, Domfan had slow at 2 KO, had fast slow Oko, and it was matched up against Arcanine, and the Arcanine had a kill into my other slot into Mr. Mime, but it wasn't targeting Mr. Mime because Kangaskhan was targeting mine. There's loads in that code. Literally just search how in Lucid chat. But I had the one on stream, and it was like, and we were like, oh yeah, you were saying like you haven't really seen an explanation. It's just like clicks how. But and if you go back to the conversation last night, I posted like the screenshots. Domfan had slow Oko. It had Arcanine had Oko into Mr. Mime. It killed me, and it didn't click, and it clicked how instead of like because it wasn't targeting that slot apparently. This is why I was saying last night that that part doesn't make sense to me, and that part isn't written down. Even if it checks the board state, it doesn't say that like it thinks it can't kill or like I don't know. That part is what's weird to me. Because I just assumed it's just like a damage check, but it scores higher because of the way it chooses the target. But I assumed that it was like a +1 on like the mon it chooses or whatever. Like functions like that, rather than it just scores like it doesn't kill them. Yeah, I had all this stuff. Yeah, this is what I was looking at. It's this stuff. Yeah, but like this is what I mean when it's like Arcanine fast 2 hits, so Arcanine prevents it, and it's looking at Luxray, so you'd think, it's prevented because Luxray also sees kill into Omastar. It should just think, I don't want to set up. So it skips the fact that it can kill Omastar, but it looks at whether Omastar can 2-hit KO it. Apparently, I think that's the bit which is weird. Like if it just like I don't know. That's the bit that doesn't make sense to me, and I don't know why it would do that because it does do part of it. But it doesn't score normally against Omastar. It has a kill into Omastar. It doesn't score kill. I don't get that. Or it doesn't care that it doesn't care that it kills into Omastar. Like I don't understand that because it's saying because like I don't. It's not going through normal setup checks unless it is skipping parts about it has fast kill, so it won't click setup move, or it has a kill, so it's not going to click setup move. Maybe I'm explaining it wrong, but like the way I'm seeing it is just right. But that's like not what I right. So I didn't know or haven't assumed the whole time that like it doesn't score kills into the slot it's not targeting. I just assumed it was like it scores a higher kill or something into um into the slot that it chooses to target. I didn't know that like the targeting like I assumed that it was like you score kills into both, but then you choose to target this one, gives it +1. I assumed it was something like that, rather than it just doesn't score kills unless it chooses it targets that. Yeah, I get it if it does that, but I'd never seen. I don't think that's written down that it does anything like that, and that was how I assumed it would function. Because the only thing it says about it is that the AI sees only damage it will actually deal, but the example is Thunderbolt into Volt Absorb. True. True, yeah. I don't know. I just didn't think about it like I didn't really think about it in depth exactly how like it would function. I just thought of it as well. It's seeing a kill, but it's just choosing not to go for it or whatever. I don't know, but I didn't like. So I guess it's the second bullet point on how the AI sees damage also applies to when it chooses not to target a doubles partner. Which it would be nice if that was kind of in here rather than Thunderbolt into Volt Absorb. But then maybe it's not the same thing because it's not really, is it? Because it doesn't show 0 on like the menu in game. I just think it's not explained anywhere. Like, I mean all of it, but like, I think that in particular isn't explained anywhere either. Because the only thing it says here is like scoring on kills, move can kill +4, and then it says like, it will only see like the damage it will actually deal, but it shows in the menu damage. It's like, yeah. Yeah. That's fine. I'll come on Gyarados. Let's see. We'll see if it helps. But I guess at least I think it's going to click when it attack when I think it will attack and stuff. Um, because there are turns where I show both of my mons show fast 2 at KO and stuff. So I assume setup is false. But it doesn't matter either way. We'll see exactly how it goes. Um, yeah. All right.